the full view so that you can see my hands as well. Perfect. And then from here, let's stretch over to the right and look up to the left. Then look straight ahead and rise up. Take your hands out in front of you, turn your palms to face you, and switch the clasping of your fingers by 1 digit, and then turn the palms away and lift your arms up. Stretch over to your left. Look up to your right. Look straight ahead and rise up. Take your arms out to a T shape. Your palms are facing down. Feel a stretch across your chest. Feel the stretch, fingertip to fingertip. Turn your palms up. Inhale, lift your arms up. Turn your palms out. Lower your hands just back to shoulder height. Do it 3 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, shoulder height. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, shoulder height. Do it 1 more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, shoulder height. Then turn the palms up, lift the arms up, twist to your right, your hands come down. Your left hand comes to the outside of your right knee. Look past your right shoulder. Let's go back to the ceiling with the arms, back to center. And again, to your right, twist to your right. Your hands come down, you're looking past your right shoulder. Let's do it 2 more times. Going up to center and twisting to the right. Do it 1 more time, coming up through center and then twisting to the right. Let's stay twisted to the right. Take your right arm straight up to the sky. Stretch up and over your left leg. Come back to the sky. 3 more. The right arm goes up and over your left knee and back to the sky. 2 more. Up and over and back to the sky. 1 more. Up and over. Stay up and over. Then turn and look at your left knee. Take your right hand outside your left knee. You're looking down to the left knee. The right arm is holding, that right hand is holding the outside of the left knee. You're being pulled over to your left. Pull yourself front and center. Drop your head. Stay here with your hands holding your knees and your head dropped in center. Then keep your hands holding your knees. Just come to sit up. So your arms are crossed. Keep your arms crossed. Release your hands from your knees. Your palms face each other. You're making this letter V with your right elbow on top. Then maybe the back of the hands come to touch. Maybe you even wrap that the palms come to touch. Take your elbows over to your right and turn your nose to the left. Return your elbows to center. Return your gaze to center. Unwind your arms to wide apart. Turn your palms up and lift your arms to the sky. Twist to your left. Your hands come down. Come back up to the sky in center. 3 more. Twisting to the left. The hands come down. Coming back up to the sky in center. Do it 2 more times. Twisting, the hands coming down and then coming back up. Do it 1 more time. Twisting, the hands coming down and then come back. Let the left arm come up. Stretch this left arm high above your right knee. Look up to the inside of your left arm. Let this left hand hold the outside of your right knee. Pull yourself over to your right. Then drop your head forward and center. Then lift to sit up tall. Release your hands. Your elbows are crossed. Your left elbow on top of the right. Maybe the back of the hands touch. Maybe the palms touch. Send your elbows over to your left. Turn your nose to your right. Turn your nose back to center. Take the elbows back to center. Open the arms wide to that T. Turn your palms forward. Turn your palms up. Lift your arms up like you're gathering the energy. Take your hands to high prayer, prayer in front of your heart. Release your hands outside of your thighs. Extend your right leg and left leg long out in front of you. Flex your feet. Just sitting on the mat, you can take out the cushioning now. Just sitting down on your mat, facing forward, your feet are flexed. Have your feet what's known as hip width apart. It's about 4 or 5 inches apart. You're sitting up nice and tall. Bend your right knee in towards your chest and clasp your hands over your shin. As you sit tall and clasping your hands over your shin, you're pushing down into your sitting bones and then lengthening up through the crown of your head. Stay here, breathe here.
You could join me.
They're not all unmuted for some reason. Okay, well, I hear them talking. From here, let's take the right hand behind and the left arm to the ceiling. Take your left elbow outside of your right knee and then turn and twist to your right. Breathe here. Come back to center, clasp your hands over the shin, sitting up nice and tall. Extend your right leg long out in front of you. Bend your left knee into your chest, clasp your hands over the shin. As you sit up nice and tall, take your left hand behind you, take your right arm to the ceiling. Take your right elbow outside your left knee, and then turn and twist to your left. Breathe here. Unwind to center, clasp your hands over the shin, sitting up nice and tall. Extend that right leg long out in front. Take both legs wide apart. Come to lift up and then sit down. Do that again with your hands behind you. Lift up and then sit down. Do it 2 more times. Lift up and then sit down. 1 more. Lift up and then sit down. Walk your hands forward. Stretch forward. Breathe here. Drop your head. Drop your neck, drop your shoulders. Then even though your head and neck is dropped, send your shoulders down your back. Stay here, breathe here. Walk your hands back in. Come to sit up nice and tall. Take your arms to a T shape. Your palms are face down. Twist over to your right and return to center. 3 more. Twist to your right and return to center. 2 more. To your right and center. 1 more. To your right and center. Let's do that to the left. Twist to your left and come back to center. 3 more. To your left and center. 2 more. To your left and center. 1 more. To your left and center. Turn your palms up. Lift your arms up. Clasp your hands over your head and turn your palms to the sky. As you ground down through your sitting bones, lengthen your spine, pushing your palms to the ceiling. Release your hands down outside of your hips. Bend your knees. We were doing this the other day. Turn your toes out. Take your right arm inside of your right leg. Take your left arm inside of your left leg. Lift your heart. Man, the other day, the microphone was picking up your bangles knocking against the paper. Okay, but just the Instagram one will. So lifting your heart, your arms are inside of the legs. Breathe here. So instead of the arms pulling you forward, there's this lift. So there's a straight line from your sitting bones all the way through the crown of your head. Let's lift the left arm on a diagonal. Look up to your left thumb. Then lower your left arm inside of the left leg and take your right arm up on a diagonal. Look up to see your thumb. Then take this arm inside. Let's take the hands to prayer, but disconnect the elbows from the legs. So you're sitting up nice and tall. Breathe here. It's a stretch for your inner thighs, for your inner groins. Breathe into this stretch. Lower your hands outside of your knees, and then bring your soles of the feet together, your knees wide apart. Take your hands to hold your ankles and move your feet forward so there's a long diamond shape between your legs. Take your hands to your ankles, but instead of coming over, hunching your back, lift your heart and come forward with your elbows outside of the legs. And instead of rounding over, you're coming over with a flat back. And then at the very last moment, drop your head and neck. Breathe here. Lift yourself up. Take your right hand under your right leg on a diagonal. Your palm is face down. Loop your left arm under the left leg on a diagonal. Your palm is face down. Then take the palms to hold the top of the feet. Drop your head yet again. Undo the hands, coming to sit upright. Your hands come to your thighs. Turn your soles of the feet down. Walk your feet close to you. Separate your feet, those 2 fists width and parallel. It's about 5-6 inches apart. Take your hands to the front of your shins. Pull back on your shins so you can sit up nice and tall. Inhale, arch your spine, look to the sky. Exhale, round your spine, look into your belly as you lean backwards. Do it 3 more times. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, round and look in. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, round and look in. Do it 1 more time. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, round and look in. Come back to sit upright. Let's come to all fours, hands and knees. So you're setting yourself up right at the front edge of your mat. Your hands are shoulder distance apart, or if you don't have a mat, no big deal, right on your carpeting or flooring, whatever. Separate the hands shoulder distance apart so your hands are right under your shoulders. And then have your knees hip width apart so your knees are right under your hips. Your feet are also apart. You'll tuck your toes. It's the opposite of pointing. Slide your right leg long back behind you, and then lift your right leg up and lower it down. Return the right knee in. Slide your left leg long back behind you. Lift your left leg up and then lower it down. Take your left knee back in under you. Okay, never mind. I paused for a second. Walk your hands backwards. Take your hands to your hips. You're standing on your knees. Reach your arms out and all the way up. Clasp your hands overhead. Take your hands behind your head. Lean backwards. For some reason, Instagram keeps pausing, but it went back on now. Lean backwards and up. Do it 2 more times. Lean backwards and up. 1 more. Lean backwards and up. Take your hands to your hips. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot forward. Both of your knees are bent. Put your hands on your thighs. Stay here. Drop your head. So your knees are bent. and you're dropping your head. Release your hands outside of your feet. Drop your head, and to your best of your ability, straighten your legs. Then rebend your knees. Do it 3 more times. Straighten and rebend. 2 more. Straighten and rebend. 1 more. Straighten and bend. Send your right leg long back behind you. You're in a low lunge. Reach your arms forward and up to the sky. You're in a high lunge. Lower your hands forward and down. Take your left arm out to the side and up to the sky. You're in a big twist. Lower this hand down. Walk your back foot forward. Your feet land 2 fist width and parallel. Inhale, come to a tabletop. Exhale, fold over. Step your left leg long back behind. You're in a low lunge. Reach your arms forward and up. You're in a high lunge. Take your hands forward and down. Lift your right arm out to the side and up to the sky. You're in a twisted lunge. Lower this hand down. Walk your back foot forward. Inhale, come to a flat back tabletop. Exhale, fold over. Step your right leg, then your left leg back. You're in a plank position, top of a push-up. Breathe here. You stay where you are. I want to give you the side view. So you're staying in your plank position, and here's the side view of plank, that your hands are under your shoulders and that your hips are elevated. So you don't want your hips to sag. That would be too much pressure in the wrists. So you're keeping your hips elevated as high as your shoulders. From there, let's go upwards and backwards, downward facing dog. Feel this whole body stretch. Feel how your heart is melting towards your thighs and your heels are pulling back, backwards and down. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, go upwards and backwards, downward facing dog. Do it 2 more times. Come forward to plank. Go upwards and backwards, downward facing dog. Do it 1 more time. Forward to plank. Upwards and backwards, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take your knees down. Separate your knees as wide as a sticky mat. Point your feet and bring your big toes to touch. Pull your butt backwards to sit on your heels. Reach your arms forward, drop your forehead down. Here you are in a child's pose. Breathe here. Imagine that your back body is like a blanket and your back body is lifting off of you as you inhale and is draped on top of you as you exhale. So there is an undulation of breath. There is a wave-like movement of breath. Breathe into this wave-like movement of breath. Lift your forehead up. Let's do a variation in this child's pose. Turn your palms to face each other, and then all the way out there in front of you, let your palms come to touch, like a long prayer position out in front of you. Keep the prayer hands as they are, and lower your forehead again to the mat, and then keep your prayer hands. Let your elbows come down to touch the mat, and then let your thumbs touch the nape of your neck or your upper back. So your palms are still together, and your prayer hands are reaching backwards now with your thumbs touching your back. Walk your elbows forward, walk your elbows narrow. It's a stretch for your upper arm, that your elbows are reaching forward, but your sitting bones are pulling backwards. Breathe here. Re-extend your arms, lift your head up, separate your hands shoulder distance apart. Stay in this child's pose, but loop your right arm under your left. Lower your right ear down to the mat. Your left arm reaches forward. So you're in a twisted child's pose. Breathe here. Let's do the other side. Reach your right arm forward. Loop your left arm under the right. Lower your left ear down to the mat. You're in a twisted child pose on the second side. You should feel a stretch in the back of your left shoulder and also in the whole right side of your waist, creating more space in that left shoulder and the whole right side of your waist. Return your left arm forward. Lift yourself up. Rearrange back to all fours. So it takes some maneuvering to get your knees back under you, to have your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Let's tuck the toes. It's the exact opposite of pointing. Inhale, arch your spine and look to the ceiling. Exhale, round your spine and look in. Do it 3 more times. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, round and look in. 2 more. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, round and look in. 1 more. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, round and look in. Come to a neutral spine. It's just a flat back with your shoulders over your wrists and your knees under your hips. You're still facing forward. I'm just giving you the side view. Walk your hands forward, so even further forward than your mat. So instead of all fours, we're coming to a puppy dog with your arms reaching far forward. Drop your head. Your head doesn't have to touch the ground. You have this diagonal shape of your arms and your torso off the ground. Breathe here. Let's do a twist here. Loop your right arm under the left. Your right ear comes to the ground. That left arm still reaching forward. So again, now it's a stretch for the outside of the right shoulder, and the left arm, I see you, Nancy, is reaching forward. Let's re-extend the right arm forward. Take the left arm under. Your left ear comes to the ground. Breathe here. Take both arms forward. Walk your hands under you. Lift yourself upwards and backwards, downward facing dog. Feel this whole body stretch, that you're melting your heart towards your thighs and your heels are going backwards and down. So you're stretching your arms, your torso, your legs. Everything's getting a stretch. Then come forward to plank, your shoulders over your wrists. Let's bend the elbows, only going halfway down. We're going to keep our feet where they are and lift our heart as we dip our hips. So it's not a typical traditional upward facing dog. It's an upward facing dog with your toes tucked. From here, let's go back to plank. It's just like the top of a push-up. Then go backwards, downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Again, it's not a traditional sun salutation. We're making a variation. We're coming forward to plank. We're keeping our toes as they are. Point your elbows backwards. You're only going halfway down to the ground in one straight line. Keep your toes tucked as you lift your heart, straightening your elbows and keeping your hips off the ground. Your toes are tucked. Go back to plank. Go back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands and your feet towards each other. Inhale, come to a tabletop, a flat back. Exhale, fold over. Bend your knees and put your hands on your thighs. Pause here. Breathe here. Reach your arms forward and then reach your arms to the sky as you send your butt down. Then push into your feet and rise up. Turn your palms out. Lower your hands down. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Drop your head at your low back, clasp your hands, interlace your fingers. Feel a stretch across your chest. Feel a stretch to your shoulders. Release your hands down. Bend your knees. Put your hands on your thighs. Come to stand up. Let's go back to sitting. So we're going to end our session the same way that we began it. So we're going to come to sit. You can sit on a blanket, sit on a pillow, just sit on the floor. You don't need any props. Cross your legs, just sitting up nice and tall. From here, take your hands to prayer in front of your heart and close your eyes. Let your awareness settle around your breathing so that you're just noticing your inhale and your exhale. Gently close your mouth and let the breath come in through your nose, swirl through your body, and exit back out through your nose. So everything is coming back to you. You're building up your inner resources of calm, that you have a storehouse of calm, that no matter what the day brings, you have all of this calm to address anything that comes up. Stay here, watching your breathing.